my ear. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Cameron Main. First, we are discussing Peoria's Southside Mission's preparations for their big Thanksgiving meal giveaway. Then we'll be discussing the future of railway in Peoria. And lastly, we will be discussing something else, another local story, I believe. But our first big local story of the day, Peoria's Southside Mission is celebrating 54 years of their holiday meal program. WMBD's Jack Bazikas joins us now to explain how you can sign up to be a part of the program that delivers meals to those in need during the holidays. Jack, so how many meals do they plan on serving during the holidays?
Yeah, they're going to have about 3,000 meals, which is pretty incredible. They're going to be having an in-person kind of dinner for some, and then a lot of others, they're going to be delivering them on Thanksgiving morning or in the daytime on Thanksgiving and go and, deliver these meals. Yeah.
That's really cool. Did it seem like, what was it like when you went there? Like, is it a big organization?
Yeah. Southside Mission is huge. I mean, the 54 years of doing this, that's actually their 100th year of being an organization and being around.
Wow.
But 54 years of the meals and for holidays. And it's pretty incredible. I know they're preparing now and getting ready for, these upcoming holidays. They'll do it for Thanksgiving and for Christmas.
Okay, so how many volunteers do they need to get this program running?
Yeah, I had asked that question, and it's probably around 500 or 500 to 600 volunteers to make this a successful operation. And they have a decent number of volunteers now, but they can never have too many volunteers. So you can find the link to volunteer your time over on our website, ciproud.com, you can also find how to get in touch if you want to receive one of the meals. There's a number there that you can call to be a recipient.
Sweet. So moving a little away from the Southside Mission and towards what's happening in the box office, since you're our movie expert, real quick, what are movies looking like forward to this week?
Yeah, this week we have The Black Phone 2 is coming out on Thursday, which stars Ethan Hawke and Mason Thames. I actually got to meet Mason about a month and a half ago.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, at Comic-Con, and he was a super nice guy. Seemed very excited about the sequel to I believe it was 2022's The Black Phone, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was a really good horror, scary movie, especially in this time, October. So that's I don't know what it's projected, but I'm guessing probably around 20 million if I had to guess for its opening. I think it's going to be.
That's a lot of money. I don't earn that much money.
Yeah. I don't know how much the budget was. I don't know how much they have to make to for it to
break even.
Yeah, for it to be a profit. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'm going to try and go see it this Thursday. But I am going on vacation here this weekend, so I might be having those last minute plans to.
Right. Okay. Trying to figure out any time in your schedule, you can just go into the theater and just figure it out.
Exactly. Carve out 2.5 hours of my day to go see it.
All right, well, thank you for breaking that down, and obviously the Southside Mission as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting to know what's going on in our community and also what's happening in the box office. But before we go, we actually have something a little unrelated from the other two. Football. Here's one of those football fans that are trying to give their team a little push. The Oklahoma State Cowboys started the second half of Saturday's game against Houston, trailing 24-10. The crowd was looking for anything, to give the team a spark. In the mostly empty student section, one fan came up with an idea. He took off his shirt and started twirling it over his head. Soon, 2 more fans joined in, then 2 more fans from around the stadium got out of their seats to join them. What started with 2 people grew into 3 whole sections of shirtless fans. Despite the effort, Oklahoma State still lost 39-17, but
hey,
at least it looked cool.
At least the fan section won.
Yeah,
the fan section
definitely.
won.
And they were trying to get them on board. And look, I always, that is pretty crazy, just seeing all those shirts just spin around like that.
It's crazy how just one person can make a difference, isn't it? One guy just said, I'm going to take my shirt off and whip it around my head.
We just need to get the team going. That's also a very interesting way to motivate it, You know, just like, oh yeah,
right.
I think if I swing my shirt
Yeah.
around, it'll help them
The
out.
players are like, guys, we really need to lock in here for the fans.
Yeah, we always, you know, it's very funny because like coming from Australia, we don't really have America's obsession of sports, but then we also don't have like the British like rowdiness of like their sports
Their
team.
soccer matches.
You know, I know it's not like we don't care, and there's a lot of people that love sports in America, in Australia, sorry, like cricket, Aussie rules, rugby, big sports. But you know, compared to like the culture in America, like, you know, when you see like Ohio State has a massive stadium just for their football team, that's like, that's crazy.
Yeah, the fan culture is real here in the States, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is, and it's. I hope to go at least to a couple of the games. As someone that doesn't really know football.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a lot of fun. Tailgating is the best. I mean, you go beforehand, you get some good food.
Yeah.
You know, get some cold beers, and you're set. You're ready for a fun afternoon.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, and I've done the homecoming at ISU a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, that's always really good.
Oh yeah.
But all right, when we come back, I'll be on the headlines. I'll be in the hot seat to go over how Peoria is inching closer and closer to a train line with Chicago. We'll have all those details up next.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Another big local story of the day puts Cameron, Maine in the hot seat for now. Discussions on a Peoria rail line are in the works again, bringing a railroad to Peoria that takes you to Chicago. Cameron is here to explain how it would work. So Cameron, what's happening with the train?
So basically, you know, this has been an idea that's been talked about a while in Peoria. This isn't a new novel idea. But basically, there's been a couple of phases in the project. What we're in right now is called the scoping phase. And so this is basically the phase of like, hey, can we do this? Can we actually get a train from Peoria to Chicago? Is it feasible? How would that work?
Yeah.
It's basically seeing, is it worth to go into the next phase, which is the development plan phase. So now they've done they're pretty much close to finishing the scoping phase according to city officials, and now we're heading towards the second phase, the development plan, which is basically how would you, how many trains there would be, where it would go, how many stations there would be, where those stations are, and you know who operates the train. You know, is it Amtrak? Is it Metra? You know, there's a couple of different operators floating around, but those are kind of the big things happening with the train right now.
Wow, yeah, nothing like it. What are some of the expense changes?
So yeah, basically when the plan was originally it was approved at the scoping level, like most of the funding, about 90% of it comes from the federal government. But it needs to have a local match. And so originally it was expected this development plan phase was only going to cost $4 million in total. So that would be 1/10 is $400,000 onto the city. But now it's expected to cost $6.4 million, which means then it's going to cost the city $640,000.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where they're at. It's not a huge increase, and Peoria is obviously a city that earns, you know, its current operating budget is going to be $301 million. You know, this is something, obviously it's a sore point, but I mean, the fact that they're getting a lot of this funding from the federal government to actually do this and get it rolling forward, it's honestly a pretty good deal. You know, you're only putting in an X amount of money. And, you know, the previous phase, the scoping phase, that only cost the city $500,000 according to the city manager. So
Interesting stuff.
yeah,
Definitely. So what's the future of this train line looking like?
Yeah, so it's going to be a while. Patrick Urick, the city manager of Peoria, he said it will be 8, 9, 10 years before we even see a train leave Peoria. That might seem like a very long time, but basically the gist of it, they feel very confident. They feel very confident that this is not only moving forward, but slowly it's moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, but that they're actually getting somewhere. It feels like they're moving on to the next phase, you know, even though they haven't yet.
Yeah.
But they're very close to, and that is something that's a big deal because, again, it's a train. a train line doesn't get built overnight. You know, this isn't, you know, 1600s or 1700s when we were so on top of placing how many train lines. It's kind of hard to get that thing rolling, and you can't really build those things in a, there's a lot of processes that go around to building something like that.
Yeah.
So it will take time. It'll take a real hot minute before we actually see, like, hey, we're actually designing the stations. Hey, we're actually building the rail tracks, you know? That will take a little longer time. But I think overall, we're kind of getting closer, and we're getting closer. I know a lot of people would have really want it once overnight, but it's going to take a while before we see a train.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's one that goes from Bloomington to Chicago.
Yes, yes, the Amtrak line.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're considering maybe it should be Amtrak.
Gotcha.
But that is still up for discussion.
Gotcha. All righty, cool. Well, looking for a late night snack? We have just the place for you. It's called Studio Cheese, a Cheez-It themed nightclub in New York City. It's expected to be packed with cheesy cocktails, snacks, and a dance floor from Cheez-It martinis to a Cheez-It dog tower.
That's crazy.
Wow, it's located in the East Village. Tables are available for reservations at the door on a first-come, first-served basis.
Wow. That's very cheesy.
Are you a Cheez-It type of guy? Or?
I like them. I think my girlfriend devours Cheez-Its.
I can eat a whole box of Cheez-Its
Really?
in probably an hour.
We have these things in Australia called shapes. They're kind of similar, but they're like different flavored. You could have like barbecue flavor, pizza flavor, cheese flavor.
Okay.
And they're just little biscuits. And You just like snack on them. They're really good, and I kind of miss them because they're really yummy. And
We got to bring them here.
it's hard, you know,
Yeah,
when you go
right.
to a different country and you try the food and you're like, yeah, it's good, but like.
But like shapes.
But my home, yeah,
Yeah,
Tim
shapes.
Tams, Vegemite,
Man.
you know, those are the.
Vegemite?
Yeah, oh, I love
No,
Vegemite.
no.
It's so good.
No.
I went through it, my most recent tub, I went through it in like 2 months. We're going to get 4 tubs. I think I might bring some Vegemite to the studio and I'll have you guys all try it.
I've tried it once, and it tasted like cat food.
No.
Yes, it tasted horrible.
No, it is great.
It was no Cheez-Its.
It
Let's
was,
put it that way.
it's a
There
different
are no
taste there.
Cheez-Its.
It's a different taste. It's a unique taste. It's very different from what you're usually used to, but it's good. And you put it on your toast, have a little, you know, dip it in a little bit of egg.
Nope.
It's great.
No, that sounds...
It is a fantastic.
That sounds horrible. All right. Well, we've got one more local story for you when we return on Beyond the Headlines. We've got Austin Feeman live from our Twin Cities newsroom to explain what Normal is being recognized for. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Another big local story of the day. The town of Normal has been recognized as a bird city. WMBD's Austin Feeman joins us live from the Twin Cities newsroom to explain what this recognition means to the sound. So, Austin, what does it mean being a bird city?
Yeah, Cameron, thank you very much. So, this bird city is basically a recognition from the Audubon Council of Illinois, basically they have been recognized for the work that they have done to protect nature and birds throughout the town. They are the 11th city to be recognized and the first city downstate to be recognized as a bird city. Basically, a bird city just is recognizing birds being in the city and areas inside of the town or city that are special for birds, that birds can go to and be safe and protected. Places like that in the town include maybe the Hidden Creek Nature Sanctuary or any other nature sanctuary in the Blono area.
Yeah, that's really interesting, honestly. I mean, being from someone that I graduated from ISU, there are a lot of birds there. There's birds everywhere, but why is Normal being recognized as one? Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, so Normal has been working for the past many years to really bring more awareness to nature in the town and also to kind of revamp some of the nature areas. You know, they have had a continued commitment to birds and nature in the town. You know, they put in a water feature over by the Connie Link Amphitheater for the birds, in which they enjoy very thoroughly. So I hear, when I went there earlier, I had very much trouble finding birds, but maybe it was just the wrong time of year. You know, they put in a bunch of native plants, they planted a bunch of native plants, excuse me, around that water feature, as well as other places in the town. And then also the Hidden Creek Nature Reserve, which I mentioned earlier. You know, it's a space where the animals they're protected, same with the plants and everything. It's just a space for them to be and to be safe. You know, Bloomington Normal has such a strong bird watching community. They have many people, hundreds of people involved in the bird watching community, which makes bird watching in the Twin Cities very popular. You know, and the Twin Cities are right along the Mississippi Flyway. Basically, that means that we are on the path of where birds migrate. Normally from north to south, they kind of come right through the middle of the Twin Cities, which makes bird watching kind of an all year round hobby in the Twin Cities. But yeah, so they really have just been had a commitment to bringing more nature, or more awareness to nature and birds inside of the community.
All right, sweet, Austin. Thank you so much for breaking that down. And, you know, I definitely would love to fly away like a bird around in Bloomington Normal if I could have my choice of that. But before we go, check this out. The Peoria Park District has a new interesting employee. The Park District posting on Facebook pictures of this prehistoric new member of the team. The post says this dino has been working hard to keep the park looking great during Zootober, raking leaves, picking up trash, and making sure things are in tip-top shape for your next visit. Zootober is happening at the Peoria Zoo and Glen Oak Park. If you can check it out on the weekends in the month of October. Honestly, fantastic. I've wanted to wear a costume like that for a long time. I'm a big dinosaur fan. I was actually planning to do paleontology at some point in college, but I decided to do journalism instead. So I love dinosaurs and all of these. And honestly, Illinois is a really great place to be a paleontology nerd. Not as great as like living in Colorado or Hell's Creek or anything along the lines of that, but we have Mason Creek, and you know, you can get some trilobite footage and stuff like that, but there's some really great fossils you can get there. But thanks for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines. You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.